Start it up.
What is up, everybody? Daddy's home. I was in old Yellowstone getting a taste of nature, even though the place is busy as fuck.
Welcome to the show. There's all four of us here before we start. Jimmy, just so you know, just so you can prepare I'm going to let you prepare your defense. Colby does have statistics on the last 50 shows of how many you have missed.
Yep.
So
that ain't a lie.
I don't have to have a defense, but sure, whatever you want.
Well, to start the show.
This is going to be a good one, boys.
To start the show, 4th of July may have passed, but you can still celebrate with LEESA and a premium foam mattress designed, assembled, and manufactured in the United States. So comfortable, you'll want to set off fireworks. To design a better mattress, LEESA leveraged 30-plus years of experience and hundreds of hours of testing to develop the perfect mattress for all body shapes and sleeping styles. LEESA's mission is to provide a better night's sleep for everybody. Through their 110 program, they donate one mattress for every 10 they sell. Over 26,000 mattresses donated and counting.
Whoa.
LEESA strives to leave the world a better place than which they found it, but that does not stop with mattress donations. Together with Arbor Day Foundation, LEESA plants a tree for every mattress they sell and are committed to planting 1 million trees by 2025. So hurry up, because the 4th of July mattress sale won't last long. If you're a viewer of the show, you get $160 off a LEESA mattress by going to leesa.com/dudecomedy. That's LEESA.com/dudecomedy. Now, Colby, tell us how
LEESA's the real fucking deal, first off. We all sleep on a LEESA. It's the real fucking deal.
Yeah, and my buddy also sleeps on one now, and he loves it.
So, Burns, you're not in a Turkish prison anymore. Where are you at?
Oh, you
Yeah.
like my new place?
Mm-hmm.
We did a whole house tour on the episode you guys missed.
Are you in the woods?
Hey.
No, there's just a pond and some woods behind me, but no. Sort of in the woods, I guess.
Speaking of the episode that me and Jimmy missed, apparently, if you were not on YouTube, you also missed that episode. So this is going to be the second upload for today, because Daddy had to swoop in and fucking render it out. Also, in the video on YouTube, when I was grabbing the clip, there's like 3 or 4 minutes and then it just goes paused and silent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Like 33 seconds to 35 or 33 minutes.
That's why we need all four of us here. It all goes.
Yeah.
Dude, we had to like Burns and I, so in Burns and my defense, like, so we did the show Monday. We killed it. Like, it was a really good 2-person show.
I saw some comments.
And it was like, I felt like when we were done, I was like, man, that was really good. Then Thursday came, and we had just played like Fortnite together. We're like, dude, I can't do a show with you right now. And then he's like, dude, I agree. He's like, we don't have anything, like nothing new happened. It was like 4th of July. And we're like, all right, we'll try Friday. And like 20 minutes into the show on Friday, we both looked at each other, and I could tell in your face, Burns, it was like, uh-oh. So that's why I texted Ken. I'm like, Ken, you got to save us and get on, dude. Ken actually helped us a lot. Dude, it was so hard because we had just talked. It was, we've like forced out some topics. So it not being up there is actually pretty funny. But what's weird is with Audio Boom, even the Monday show, it went green, and then someone texted me or tweeted, hey, the podcast isn't up. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I went and looked. So I had to re-upload it again.
Did you press save?
Yeah, I pressed save.
That's
it
weird.
Said upload. It said upload complete and went green. So that's 2 times in a row it's done that to me. I blame Audio Boom, not myself.
What are you snickering at, little fucking Jimmy, little boy?
So Jimmy, on the show, we were reading mean comments, and on the show, someone said, "Why is Jimmy even on the show anymore?" Da 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 da. And I'm like, you know what?
That is the question.
So then I said to Burns, I'm like, that's actually would be pretty cool information to find out how many Jimmys missed.
Yeah, way to go, Colby. That's awesome. Good job.
Guess how many it is, dude? Only 13.
Really?
Out of 150, how many?
No, last 50.
Last
So out of 53 episodes, you've only missed 13.
But I feel like even before that, we didn't really miss much. Now I'm sitting here thinking it's crazy that we sit here and done this pod. It's been so long that we've been doing this podcast.
There's a lot of episodes.
And it kind of came out of nowhere too. We're like, let's do a podcast. And honest, like outside of like the YouTube stuff, like I feel like people that watch this are like the most engaged people. Like, you got to be pretty committed to something to sit there and listen to people bullshit about nothing for a whole fucking hour, right?
For 153 of them.
Like, I'm actually kind of
twice a week too.
And I'm kind of proud that we, obviously we're grown ass men. Like, we got shit we got to go do, like family vacations and stuff. And like we each have multiple kids besides Colby has a kid. But I mean, it's kind of crazy that we I mean, we talked about doing all kinds of like special stuff, but it's just kind of crazy. Like for the type of people, at least like me and Colby, Colby and Burns are that aren't like the most like committed, you know, I'm proud of us, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. And Jimmy, if you go back, Burns and I did definitely, we didn't shit talk you at all. It was a mean comment from a fan. We even said like, cause you posted,
buddy, I've been numb to the shit talking for.
But no, listen to this, dude. You had posted, what is it, Burns? Like 21 videos while you were in New York. And we were like, okay, that's pretty impressive.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. So do I need to defend myself on missing?
No. I mean, you can, but it might just waste your breath.
No.
Tell us about New York instead.
Well, I was going to say I haven't missed one single episode because I just wanted to take a break or didn't want to be on the show.
We will be honest. If we didn't have Jimmy, we can't get rid of Jimmy because he is the accountant.
Yeah, he's the organizer.
Every once in a while, I send these guys some money that we get paid.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
So last episode, you guys talked about the Ninja and Drake thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed that, and so I just want to give my 2 cents on it. And Jimmy saw this.
I have a story from New York too.
Okay. So I just want to pin on it real quick because I'm sure you guys talked about it a lot because that's what it was titled and everything. But that's the fucking most bullshit thing I've ever fucking heard. Like Ninja, I think he's a cool.
From which side? Both sides?
No, I think it's bullshit from Ninja because Drake didn't say anything, did he?
No. But I didn't know who you were defending.
Wasn't that taken out of context?
No.
In somebody clip? Yeah.
No. I played the clip. The clip is in the group chat. It's not out of context. He said it and then tried to kind of word it better, but he for sure said it. Go ahead, Kyle.
It's just the funny thing though. Like, first off, way more people know Drake than Ninja. Obviously, obviously. Even if you don't listen to rap music stuff, you know who Drake is. Yada yada yada. But that's what fucking like super famous people are for, like using like, you know, like I wouldn't say Drake used Ninja just as much as Ninja used Drake.
But
you know, not more. We said more. We said Ninja got a better bump.
What are you measuring by being famous? Because if you measure by social media, which is what everybody goes off of, I know last month Ninja was in the top 3 in mentions across the internet.
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
It was him, LeBron James, maybe Drake,
Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there in mentions and stuff, but he's also way more active and shit than like Drake is, you know, on social media type of thing.
I'm just asking what you guys calculate as who's
what Burns and I, we kind of talked about it. I said it, the way I look at it is like a tier system, right? Like Justin Bieber, Drake, you know, like Shawn Mendes, Cardi B, like these people who anybody who has like a radio or a television or goes to a checkout stand and sees a magazine, the odds are they will have recognized like one of those tiers of people. You know what I mean? Right. Ninja is nowhere close to that tier, but where Ninja is as far as like
Ninja's like James Harden and Drake is LeBron James. Like that's basically what's going on right now. Like Ninja is like at, you know, James Harden just had an amazing season. He won the MVP, yada yada yada, but he ain't fucking better than LeBron, you know. That's kind of how
it's a track record. You can't catch. You can't like James Harden couldn't catch LeBron because there's 14 years behind of track record.
Yeah, but did like Ninja think like Drake was gonna be like buddy? That's what I don't get. Like he's not. Like there's no way. Like, you know, their worlds aren't the same. Like they probably really have nothing fucking in common. You know, so did he think, you know, he was just gonna shoot him a text and be like, "What's up, dude?" You know, like
I didn't watch the clip. Was he butthurt?
No, so here's the clip. To set the clip, the clip was someone goes, "Hey, are you going to buy some of Drake's new exclusive merchandise that came?"
And Ninja said, "Is he going to buy my bandana?" Or
Is he going to buy my stuff? Like, which again, like, I think it was taken out of context enough to like blow it up. I don't think it was that big of a deal.
But Ninja was a little salty.
But then he did say, it was more like he knew he was about to say something sensitive. And he's like, "Well, like I don't know how to put this, but like, you know, he used me, you know, but it's fucking like, what do you mean he used you? Like, you use him just as much as he used you, you know, that's just what you do. Like say, hey, like, even back in the day.
Friends too, though. I mean,
yeah, like, even back in the day, you know, you'd be like, hey, you want to do it? Like, we both have 100,000 followers. You want to do a dual com, you know, and then we do it on your channel, you do it on mine. That's what you fucking do. Like, it's called Do you think he just wanted to?
That's marketing, dude. He's just
Do you
marketing.
think it was more that he was upset, or he just worded it wrong and it came out?
I think I mean, dude, the guy streams for 8 hours a day. At some point, you could clip something wrong. Of every day.
No, I mean, I understand that. Like, he probably did feel, because he was saying, you know, about his album coming out and all this stuff. But I mean, he did use you, but that doesn't. He kind of made it seem like it was a negative thing when it really wasn't, because you used him. Like, why the fuck did you play with Drake? You didn't play with Drake because he's just a cool guy. You played with Drake because he's fucking the biggest rapper in the world, you know? That's why you fucking played with him, you know?
Well, I already gave my opinion on this last show. So I need to
so let's move on from that shit. What's your story from New York there, buddy boy?
Before you guys hit it, I want to mention a quote I heard. So, Kyle, you already said something about Yellowstone and how, like, tourist it is, and Jimmy was in tourist capital. I saw a crazy quote. So it was from Yogi Berra. And he says, nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. And it made me think of both of you guys. Like, tourist places. All right, go ahead, Jimmy.
Well,
I've got 2 stories.
New York is always crowded, though. Yellowstone.
Yeah, well, he was talking about, I think this guy, Yogi Berra, was talking about New York. I don't remember, though.
All right. The first one
What are you doing later today, Colby? I'm just kidding. All right, sorry, go. All right, done.
The first one is while we're in the apartment. So we get an Airbnb. It's a legit, like, New York apartment. Like, you go through 2 locked doors off the street, you go upstairs, and then it's like really it was 3-bedroom, but it's really tight, open brick, all that stuff. Like, I guess that's typical New York. So we're on the 2nd floor, and there is a family above us, and I don't know. They didn't speak English. But it wasn't, I don't know what language they were speaking, honestly, but it was a big family.
Could we call them Russian for the show? Could we call them Russian for the show?
I don't want to guess because I don't know, but
all right, they're Russian.
Russians.
Okay. They weren't Russian, but so I'm sitting on the couch in the living room, and I vaguely hear this woman screaming. Like, didn't really think anything of it, thought it was somebody outside in the street, because you literally hear sirens and all kinds of crap all through the day and night when you're on 10th Avenue. I mean, we're in Hell's Kitchen, so we're like in New York. And all of a sudden, Ashley's by the door. Now, I'm sitting on the couch. There's a small hallway, the kitchen, and then you turn the corner, and it's the door, which opens up to go down or up the stairs. Ashley's screaming, no, no, no. Somebody's pushing in our door.
What?
So at that moment, I jump up, and I'm to the corner in like a half a second, and it like slow-mos for me. Everything slows down, and I'm thinking one of 2 things is happening here. Either somebody's trying to push through the door and they're going to rob us, or somebody's already opened the door and they've got a gun to Ashley's head. Okay? So in my mind, I made a decision before I even turned the corner that I'm literally just going to turn the corner. They're not going to know I'm there, and I'm just going to literally bum rush whatever's happening at my front door. All right?
Can we try and guess what's going to happen?
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Max, this is like Max Payne style with the way you.
I get the first guess.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess it was a cracked out druggie who just like fell against your door and was like just tweaking out, pushing in.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no on that because it's.
I'm gonna say something with a spider, a bug, or something.
All right, I'm gonna say person upstairs.
Well, yeah, this has to do with something with the people upstairs.
Something with glass. All right, yeah, I don't know.
It has to do with something with the people upstairs, because why would he say something about the people?
All
that
right,
don't
hit it.
speak
Just
English?
tell us.
All right.
So I come around the corner, and this lady, she's small lady too, has pushed the bottom lock was locked, and this lady has shoved our door open with the bottom lock being locked. And Ashley's pushing back on the door, telling her, no, you're not coming in here. My kids are in here. It's like just mama bear, getting crazy. And I hold the door open. I see she doesn't have a weapon or anything. So I hold the door open, and I tell her to get back, and she stops for a second. She gets back, and she's speaking a language we don't understand. And about 10 seconds later, we realized she lost her kid. She lost her little baby. Her baby was gone, and she is losing her shit. Like, she's a mom. Her kid's gone, lost in New York, stolen, don't know. And she's literally going door to door, just knocking the door down, trying to find her kid. So once we figured that out, I put my shoes on and went out to try to help her. And her little kid, like 3-year-old kid, had went up like 4 or 5 flights of stairs.
Oh,
was up there. But imagine, I mean, Kyle, Colby, imagine your kid all of a sudden is gone. And you have no clues, no anything, and you're in New York City.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare, dude. It's like a nightmare movie. Dude.
You could tell it was just straight ass adrenaline.
Well, and they're probably, they don't speak English, they're probably pretty familiar with, like child trafficking and all that stuff, just snatching up those motherfuckers.
So that's what it was.
And it's like a 3-year-old or whatever, 2-year-old doesn't respond to you saying like, Abel, Abel does, but like Owen will walk off.
Was losing her shit in every.
So everything was fine then? You found the kid?
Found the kid. Everything was good. She like almost passed out when she found the kid. She was just shaking and whatever. And
that'd be so frustrating.
How did you get past like the language barrier? Were you just like, I know what's happening?
You could tell when you started her mannerisms and she was screaming a name, or you could tell what was going on. But when you just hear it through the door and you hear these blood curdling screams, you're like, I don't know what's happening. And Ashley's like, you're not coming in our house.
What if you would have punched her in the face?
Dude,
I feel like the first move coming around that corner, when I was imagining the story, imagining the door was opening like towards you, my first thought was that you were going to go curb stomp some little kid.
Well,
like
it was
going to turn, what I'm saying? Like turn the corner and just like, bah!
I fully expected a dude at our door trying to put a gun through the door. That's what because all I got from the feedback from Ashley in that second or two was she was screaming, no, no, no. And
like, you've seen so many movies, and you've seen so many movies where that happens.
So I told myself as I came to the corner, if they've got a weapon or a gun, I'm literally just going to surprise them, and I'm just going to fucking Goldberg spear them into the stairwell and see what happens.
You know what Ken Baker would have done? Shot that girl in the head.
Dude, you're talking about adrenaline. It was crazy.
Did you find the kid or somebody else?
Somebody else, like 3 stories up.
You could have been a hero, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Burns, what are you looking at right now, dog?
Huh?
Look at Burns. What are you looking at?
He's probably checking an email.
I'm just spacing out right now.
You just totally caught him. So the other thing that happened was the day after we got in New York, my house got hit by lightning.
What?
I saw your tweet.
I saw that on Twitter.
I didn't even know that could happen, dude.
We have a dish. We have wireless internet on our roof. It hits the wireless internet. It comes through. Let me just list out what it fucked up.
Dude, I saw your computer. What the hell?
You didn't have a surge protector, you fucking idiot.
I've got surge protectors everywhere. I've got that huge black box with all my stuff on it.
I don't think that actually surges. That's not for lightning.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, whatever. I've got what I'm supposed to have. It didn't matter. It burns out the circuit board in the downstairs air conditioner handler. It burns out the garage door lift master motor. It fries both internet routers. It fried Ashley's Mac. It fried my Ethernet port of my computer. It fried my Elgato HD60 Pro in my computer.
What?
Hold on, I'm not done. It fried my external 4 terabyte.
Yeah, I got one of those things.
No.
Jimmy, did you get that at Battlefield?
Yeah.
There you go.
2 TVs, 2 dish boxes.
See,
our pool pump, the timer on our pool pump.
I'm not an expert with electricity, but how the hell does that happen? You know,
when the charge gets, what they were telling me is basically when the charge gets in your house, the electricity just finds paths, and some stuff can handle it, some stuff can't.
So is that a massive insurance claim?
Well, I called State Farm this morning. I was like, "This is what happened." She's like, "Well, your deductible's $5,000, so if it did more than that damage," I was like,
"Oh my god, hold on, hold the fuck on! Why in the hell do you have a $5,000 deductible?"
I have no clue. I've never done a homeowner's insurance claim, anything. It just, you buy the home.
You need to call some insurance company to get that shit fixed.
Yeah, dude.
What's your premium?
I don't even know. It's all in escrow.
Well, so now you got to because you ain't got to prove none of that shit. You just fucking start listing stuff off.
I'm going
dude.
to. But I think I could come up with over 5,000 just listing.
Oh yeah, but that's
you got.
You need to re-talk to your fucking insurance. Are you in like a floodplain or something? What in the fuck?
No, we're on
$5,000. We got our whole kitchen blown out. It was a $40,000 repair. and I think our deductible was like $800.
Damn. Yeah. Well,
Damn, and when he says his whole kitchen blown out, like his whole kitchen was like.
Jimmy's gonna go check his insurance today. And he's gonna find out he's paying like a $10,000 premium.
Let's talk about insurance real quick, because that is fucking insane. But insurance, whether or not I mean, it's a comfort thing. They are the biggest fucking scumbags on the face of this earth. How much do you pay a month?
We're talking home, car,
everything. The only thing that isn't is renter's insurance, because that's like $3 a month, and you can fucking save all your shit.
Yeah. So are we gonna rate our biggest, the one we hate the most? Because I'll tell you which one I hate the most is health insurance.
Health insurance.
It pisses me off.
Yeah,
well, I get it. I get why it is like that. But when my wife was sick and I knew the nurse, and this is probably gonna no one find this lady, please don't get her fired. She literally was like, "Hey, this is just high strength ibuprofen, and it's gonna be $80 out of pocket. Just go get ibuprofen." I was like,
no.
Like, yeah, she's like, we have to do it because we have to like hit certain quotas for the insurance. I'm like, damn, dude, this is a freaking.
It's just insane to me.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Okay, so we had issue with our car, right? So we have car insurance, right? Well, actually, let's do this. So car insurance. So I got, if you get your vehicle broken into, I probably pay like $250 a month for car insurance. I'm not 100% sure. I don't do that, but $250 a month. Over a year, it's like $3,000. $2,750, right? If somebody fucks up my shit every year, I'm paying almost $3,000. I still have to fucking pay more to like fix my shit for me to determine whether I should do it or not. So like, I got my truck broken into. They didn't take anything, but I'm like, man, if they would have taken something, even if it was like a tool set, a couple pairs of sunglasses or whatever that were under $500, like, what the fuck would I even, like,
they took my stuff, remember, and I didn't get anything for it. And I paid insurance.
Yeah, well, it's because you have a fucking massive deductible.
They basically try to make sure they don't have to pay anything out. So I got like into a car accident in college. 100% not my fault. This dude ran a stop sign and hit T-bone my driver's or passenger side door. His insurance company, I got a call from like my insurance company and his insurance company to interview me about it. And they were like asking me all these questions, obviously like trying to trip me up, where they would be like, "Oh, yeah, that's that. I don't have to pay it now." Like,
yeah, no, it's insane because they're your fucking best friend when they want you to sign up for their shit, but once you don't want to, or once you screw up, like, so our insurance for our house, when we had our kitchen blow out, we had a wall or a pipe inside the wall behind a cupboard that had nothing at all to do with us. Not one, like, nothing we could have done could have affected that fucking pipe, and it burst, and our insurance did everything, and then they dropped us immediately because we had a claim, and so they fucking dropped us, and I'm like, so then I go, this was before we got this house.
That was like while you were trying to get another house.
Yeah, that was before we got this house. So I go to get insurance on this house, and I start talking to people. They're like, "Have you had a claim in the last 10 years?" And I'm like, well, I mean, our pipe inside our wall burst on an almost brand new house that had nothing to do with us. And they're like, "Oh, sorry." Like, we went through like so many insurance companies and they wouldn't insure our house. Now we're doing some wild ass insurance, that's like, has like weird policies. It's fucking insane.
Dude, the craziest, there goes Jimmy.
Lightning, it was lightning.
Oh no.
Dude, the craziest one I ever had. So I used to, one of my friend's dads is like, he works for home insurance for like a big bank. And I worked for him for like one summer, just helping out. They had they're like super busy in the summer, so they paid me like $15 an hour to sit there and answer the phones, and you just enter people's information, and you could see how much they were paying for insurance. So if you don't have home insurance, your mortgage company will put like just a dwelling policy on for you. It only covers the structure, it doesn't cover any of your personal property.
Oh, and it's super high.
Yeah, so this guy calls in. He lives in Houston, so they have to have they get like the extra tacked on because of hurricanes.
Oh, fuck.
Buddy like lost his job and like lapsed on his insurance, so he had an insurance policy put on his home that only covers the structure. It was $12,000 a month.
What?
How?
So that's funny because
how big? Are you living in $1 million mansion?
So they do that with vehicles and stuff too. They do it with, if you finance them. So I had my old trailer before we got this other trailer. I was just fucking lazy, right? And I'm like, I'll get the insurance. And I never ended up So they sent me like warnings and stuff. I'm like, I gotta hurry and get it, you know, before they like implement theirs. And I finally got it. And so just for like a month was like, I think it was like $1,200. I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Like, and it was just crazy because I like called them and stuff. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Like, I have the insurance, and they're like, prove it, you know. And I'm like, like, here's the paper. I have insurance now. They're like, okay, well, there's, looks like there's 2 months you didn't have insurance. And I'm like, I got fucking insurance now, bitch. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I ain't paying this. So I had to like sit there and argue with them because they wanted to charge me $1,200 when I was like, I have insurance now. Like, why is they're like, but you went uncovered for 2 months. And I'm like, why the fuck does that matter? Like, what does that have to do with you guys? I know it's your trailer, but
is it not a state law where you guys are at to have car?
Oh, it is. It is. I think it's a nationwide law, but.
Yeah, I think you have to have it everywhere now.
But it was just it was a trailer, but I just was lazy about it. And I just had to call in and give them the VIN for my trailer and stuff. And I just never did it. And because I had to show them proof of insurance, you know, after I bought it. And I mean, it was fucking, and then they finally, I'm like, whatever, a couple $100, I'll get it finally. And then it was like 1,200. I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about?
Dude,
what
can you imagine if this guy didn't realize that he was paying $12,000 a month and like his house burned down? And be like, yeah, you've been paying $12,000 and we're only gonna rebuild the house, but all your personal property,
yeah, fuck,
gone, dude.
So you said something about you getting in an accident. So same thing happened with me. In high school, I think I've told a story on here. For baseball, we'd have to drive down to the baseball field, and there was a bunch of like gravel parking. So this dude backed in. His name was Jason Cease. He backed in, and I was just fucking around in this piece of shit car that I had. Well, it was my parents' car. It wasn't the biggest piece of shit, but he backed in kind of at an angle. So he pulled forward to turn straight, and he was looking over his right shoulder. And I just fucking came whipping in and hit the e-brake and slid in behind into a spot. And so I was stopped there, and he was still looking over his other shoulder, and he backed right into the car, into like the wheel well. And it wasn't even that fucked up, or at least I didn't think it was. And so I'm like, I apologize. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I was just kind of fucking around. Like, nothing was wrong with his car, but he hit the wheel well of my parents' car that wasn't that much, and they're like, the damage, to repair that, it's gonna be like $5,000. It was worth more than the car, so it got totaled. So we went through the insurance with it, and I already told him, like, dude, I'm sorry, like, that was my fault and everything, right? And so I'm like, yeah, well, here's my insurance, whatever, and nothing was wrong with his car, so he basically had nothing to do with it. So we figured out that the tire was rubbing on the wheel well, so we're like, we got to fix that, So we take it in and they give us like the numbers on the insurance claim, and it turns out it's total. And so they start asking like through the insurance, like, what happened? I'm like, oh, it was all my fault and yada yada. Like I pulled, in behind a dude, and I stopped, and he backed up into me and hit me. And they're like, were you moving? And I was like, no, he backed into me. And they're like, okay. So they ended up hitting up his insurance. They got in a huge insurance battle and like everything. And like, according to the law, I wasn't actually moving. And since he backed into me, like, our parents weren't really friends, like his parents and my parents, but like, it was just this long fought out like insurance battle, which we didn't really have to do anything. The insurance is battled, but it turned out that it was his fault. They had to pay like accident insurance and shit.
Dude, that is insane.
Speaking of like at fault, in Minnesota, I don't think there is an at fault law. So even if you get in an accident and it's not your fault, your insurance can still jack up your premiums.
Well, dude, it's such a slippery slope. So one of my really good friends, Andy, he was driving a nicer, I think it had like 14 grand worth of Kelly Blue Book Cadillac CTS, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he's on the main highway, and so a car slams on their brakes. This car here slams into that guy. Andy's the third car. He skids and then slides and rear ends that guy. Then he just gets absolutely smashed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the front of his car, where he bumped the car in front of him, was like little to no damage. Like he went out and barely like hit this one. He rear-ended him, but it was like his front's fine, their back's fine, just little dings. but his back was like crushed, and he lost his dispute because he was following too closely to the second car that rear-ended the first car, even though that he went like out and back in and like the only way, there's nothing else you can do. Like you either hit this car or you're magic and fly over it. So he lost that dispute. Car was totaled, and for a while it looked like he was just going to be washed like nothing. Like he was going to lose like a lump of the car. Like they were going to sell it, part it. But then I think there was like something weird happened where like the guy who hit him ended up not having like the proper paperwork, so they just went and like fried that dude. Yeah. Basically the same story as Kyle. Like they just went and found like the one part of Jenga they could pull to top it down. Yeah. They were like, oh, this guy doesn't have the right insurance. Pop.
Insurance is fucking cunts. So, you know, I mean, I'll just go a little bit more. So like medical insurance, the reason that to use a fucking CAT scan machine is like $70,000 or whatever, right, is because of insurance. Because I'm trying to, let's see if I remember this correctly. So like insurance, they basically
talking about like the MRI one, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So basically what insurance companies do is they provide the customers to like the doctor's offices and stuff like that, because you don't just walk up to a fucking doctor and say like, you know, I want this, you know, you essentially have to like, you know, so what raises the cost of the medical care system is the insurance stuff, because through the insurance they have to fucking pay a shitload of premium because you're basically paying fees to the insurance companies for giving them the customers.
Yeah. So it's the worst scenario that can happen. It's like the middleman is behind on the money and wants to turn profit. So the people who suffer from it are the consumers, aka the patients.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
But you can't see me.
Can't see you.
You're back though.
Failed to start video.
But so basically like what happens is, and then it doesn't really make sense. Like, okay, well then I don't need my insurance company. I should be able to walk in and just get that, you know, just go buy that shit, you know, for not so cheap, because they're selling like if you look at a receipt, like a syringe is like $70, like just fucking insane. And it's all
the ibuprofen was 80.
It's all because insurance companies want their premiums for sending the doctor's offices customers, basically.
Oh, we're still talking about insurance.
Well, we went to car insurance for a while. We told some car wreck stories, and now
the General. You guys ever see Shaq with his corny commercials for the General Auto Insurance? That little cartoon General guy.
Yeah. Go to the General, save some time.
Yeah.
I got a good topic we can steer away from insurance from that.
Hold on. I got one. My son got basically told by the government and the DMCA and the feds to quit using BitTorrent and uTorrent this morning.
Nice.
I got an email, like a serious email from my internet provider, and I know the owner of it. And he's like, you need to handle this and make sure this doesn't happen. I was looking through. Oh God. And I called him and I was like, is this like something like, I mean, is it like this? Is it this serious?
XVids.
No, what he's doing is using uTorrent to get his World of Warcraft patches and stuff.
Yeah.
And the ISP picked up on it immediately. And I was like, Bryce, you got to delete this shit off here.
Yeah. I've told you there was.
I've gotten emails from my ISP for downloading movies. I just fucking ignore it.
Well, it's like you have to pay us $250,000.
Yeah. Well, I ended up.
Please pay a fee of $25 to get this ticket. And like, no.
No. So I got like this huge, basically with Hurt Locker back in college, where they're like, either you fucking pay us $5,000 right now, or we're going for the full limit of $250K. So they would
full Monty.
Yeah, they would fucking send these all out to people to scare them, you know.
We got probably around the same time, same college. We got the Rosetta Stone one, where we had downloaded 27 Rosetta Stones, and our goal was to each learn one language. In our house is 6 dudes, and it was just the most disappointing thing. I'm like 2 weeks into learning freaking French, and we get hit with you got to delete all the Rosetta Stone.
Wow.
It's
just tens of thousands of dollars of software. We're like, dude, screw you. As where the guys ripping them
used
off.
To be the shit. I had a 1 terabyte hard drive. I was fucking downloading stuff I would never watch in my life. There's this dude called Axo on uTorrent, or he's on Pirate Bay. His name is
Pirate Bay still a thing?
I think so.
I think it's just rerouted so many times.
But the things you can do now, it's like I really don't see, like, unless you want to like get, even though I would do it with like computer games and stuff. What's it called? Plead the Fifth if you guys want to charge on me. But but like I would just I'll get Battlefield. Like I had so many games and stuff I never even played. I was just like addicted to downloading shit.
Well, remember when music? So like the first time you'd get on Napster and you would download your first CD, and it was like a drug, dude. Like your adrenaline of having the Blink-182 CD like for free.
Yeah, it was.
You're like, oh, what else can I download? The next thing you know, you have like the complete collection of Tupac greatest hits. You're like, I don't even know if I'm going to listen to this, but I want all 2,000 songs of all of this.
Yeah, I never was I think I passed over Napster and was straight to LimeWire, but
Kazaa was big too.
Like I would download like the CKY videos.
Are you seeding? How many seeds are active?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the seeds. What was funny is like your friends that weren't computer savvy, and you'd go to their house and you'd be like, dude, why are you downloading this? This is why your computer's a virus. It had one seed.
You just don't know what you're talking about, man.
There'd be some just sketchy ass ones. They wouldn't know how to sort it from like the most popular one, so they just take the first one they see. That's just
the best story of like torrenting is LimeWire Music, where Soulja Boy got popular because he uploaded his music to LimeWire, but he titled it Jay-Z songs.
Yeah. That was my buddy's. Yeah, that's how Soulja Boy got famous.
That's how he got famous.
My buddy, I've told this story again. My buddy's dream was to make when Tim Tebow was super popular, he wanted to make a mixtape and title the mixtape Tim Tebow Sex Tape. And then everyone that would Google Tim Tebow Sex Tape, it would go to timtebowsextape.com and it'd be our mixtape. I'm like, dude, that's genius.
Damn,
we never did it, but
smart.
I mean, like, you could do it for like even when Justin Bieber's like dick pics leak, you'd be like justinbiebersdickpics.com.
Yeah, you can't do that. No one downloads music anymore. I don't think everyone's got either.
Well, it's so much easier. Like, yeah, there's so many like free streams. So something fucking cool though. Okay, this is actually really cool, and I'm really fucking jacked up about it. So, UFC on Saturday.
Dude, that's what I was gonna talk about. I have it right here open.
Brock Lesnar?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. So I'm talking about a couple things. The UFC fight. So basically what happened is Cormier won, which I cannot fucking believe he won. Like, he looked tiny next to my boy Stape.
Especially the fashion he won. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, he fucking clocked him and knocked him out. And then, I know it was set up, like, Brock being there, because even when he called Brock out, he was already ready to come in the cage, you know? Like, he was down on the floor. But I wonder...
No, they had kind of already spoiled it. WWE tweeted 12 minutes before the main event started saying, like, oh, look who's in attendance, Brock Lesnar, to watch the main event. So there's...
UFC is now WWE.
Yeah.
Well, in a way.
But they actually fight.
Was that scripted at the end for him to come on like that? Or
I think it was mini-scripted.
I think... Would Stipe have called out Brock Lesnar, though? That's what That's what I
texted you. I texted you. I don't know. I mean...
All I know is the dude that won the fight that got shoved by Lesnar looked itty bitty compared to Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's crazy is
I mean, he'll beat Lesnar though.
Here's what's crazy is John Jones and Lesnar started talking shit to each other about a year ago, and it was like, I want to fight John Jones, and I think, and this sounds crazy and conspiracy, but Lesnar's deal was 1 year with WWE, and he's been just dicking around at this point. I think a year ago, his goal was to plant the seed and go, like, this would be John Jones he's going to fight. Obviously, John Jones still suspended. He's going to go fight whoever's the top guy, and it's DC. And it's going to sell so many damn tickets.
He's going to probably fight John Jones next, too.
Yeah, if he wins this and he wins, like, the belts, can you imagine the next fight if John Jones comes out and it's John Jones versus Brock Lesnar?
Dude, I was so fucking jacked up when he went in there. I'm like, no way.
Dude, Kyle's texts were like,
I know it was scripted, but I mean, you could tell, like, Cormier was like, holy fuck, he just pushed me really hard.
He was shocked, but
that's what made the WWE so exciting back in the day, when it was like PG-13 and...
Yeah, he was just
here's the thing, though, is if UFC goes a little bit into wrestling and you have a problem with it, then you're just a person that doesn't like fun, because that was fun.
Oh, that was way better than... Because wrestling, like, in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, but this is fake, you know, duh. Even if it was fake, they're actually going to fucking fight is the coolest thing ever.
I like the idea of UFC doing, like, scripted storylines like that, but, you know, still have a real fight.
Dude, I guarantee it would sell better.
Connor would be the best at it. Well, he threw a freaking guardrail through a bus. Like,
I mean, even the guardrail thing possibly could have been scripted, you know?
So who makes more money, Dana White or Vince McMahon?
Vince McMahon.
Man.
By a lot.
Well, they don't. Dana White
doesn't own that much. Vince McMahon's like the majority. If you were to just look at it as far as like which company makes more, it's probably a lot closer. But McMahon is like the 60-70% shareholder, where Dana White's like 10%.
Is he a billionaire?
McMahon is, yeah.
I don't. Dana White isn't. He only owns a small portion.
Dana White only owns
UFC.
10% of UFC.
Yeah. Oh.
But
That's still.
Well, they just did like a $460 million deal with Fox. Or no, WWE's was like 440, and then UFC's was like 460. I might have them wrong. Someone's gonna call me out and say you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm close. People, get off my back.
Yeah. So leading into my following story, so I just had my little brother over. We were watching the fight, so he walks outside after the fight's over to go home, and he just hears this boo. And we're like, what? He comes back in. He's like, somebody's throwing a huge party in the neighborhood, right? So we hop in the Razor, and I was like, I gotta go check this out. Earlier, Rachel had said there's just a shitload of cars lined up way on the other side of our neighborhood, right? So we cruise over there, and we see like 50 people in this dude's backyard, like a shitload of cars and stuff there. And then we're like, that's cool, like maybe we go hang out with him next time. But I thought it was kind of weird that somebody was having this massive party, on, the UFC fight, yada, yada, yada. So I go home, talk to Rachel, and she said her neighbor said something, that the dude over there fights, MMA, right? And so at first I'm like, does he fight MMA like just for fun on the side, or is he actually
they having like house fights?
Yeah. So I'm like, does he have a full-time job? He just fights MMA and for fun. He's super into the sport. Then I started thinking, I'm like, well, like not to be, but like the houses in our neighborhood are pretty expensive. Like if he did fight MMA as a job, like he would have to be in the UFC, because anything not in the UFC, you're unless you're like their top fucking dog, you're not making much money, right? So the next morning I drive by with the boys, just cruising around the neighborhood, and he's in the backyard picking up garbage from the previous day. And he's like 6'5", like half black, like heavyweight looking type dude. I'm like, that motherfucker, he's not MMA on the side. Like that dude has to be in the MMA. So then we talked to our neighbor who said, we're like, what's his name? And they said his last name was Hamilton, right? Yeah. So I do some searching, and I search Anthony Hamilton UFC.
That name sounds familiar.
And it was a fucking dude.
It's my boy. It's my guy.
It's the fucking dude. So I am neighbors with a UFC fighter. He is getting kind of up there in age.
And I was really good friends with his brother. Did track with me, and I was really good friends with his brother.
Have you guys invited him over?
Well, no, this was just he didn't know he lived there. So I'm friends. So the one of my friends from high school, I hit him up because he's best friends with the Anthony Hamilton's brother. So I was like, hey, does your buddy Jono have a brother in the UFC? And they're like, oh yeah, Anthony Hamilton. And I'm like, no fucking way, he's my neighbor. They threw this massive rager. And he was saying that, so they hired like a DJ and a bartender and all this shit. Like, it was fucking crazy.
Dude, this guy's not a joke. He trains with John Jones. Like, he's in Albuquerque's best fighting school.
What you should do is you should get people. You should like put a octagon in your basement.
Get him on our show.
Have him be your ringer.
Yeah, I would say have him on the show, but he's 15-9. He's a heavyweight fighter.
He's the one. So I was still really close with his brother, and he fought in the Canadian version of like the UFC, like the top one. And the fight was at like 2:30 in the morning, my time in Utah. And I saw his Facebook post, and he was like, all right, we're getting ready to walk to the stage. And like, so I turned it on Sky TV at like 2:30, and I'm taking pictures of him walking to the ring. Cause he used to be his ring guy. Like he'd be his hype man until he got to the UFC. So John was like back there holding the towels and stuff, like slapping him and stuff. And he won the championship that fight, like that night. And it was pretty sick. But another small world is, so he picked me up one time, me and Jono up, because he went to Central. And then another time, my dad and I dropped him off at his apartment at Central. Small world, dude.
Huh, cool.
So he's probably going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember you, but he totally doesn't.
Oh, yeah, no. He's a big dude. He's probably not the guy you want to fuck with. But if I ever have any beef in the neighborhood,
you know.
That's what I should do with my dirt bike. I should ask him to fucking walk up to the dude's house.
Make him your entourage.
Yeah. But he only has like 3,000 Twitter followers.
Well, then he's irrelevant, right?
Fucking loser.
He's irrelevant. Loser, dude.
fucking loser, man.
Call him a loser to his face. See what happens.
Did you stream today, Jimmy?
I did. Well, actually, Bryce streamed today.
Bryce? Oh.
Let me get a shout out on my stream, Jimmy. Or you can even not mention Twitch.
Huh? Oh, I probably wouldn't be smart to mention it on Facebook. I can mention it on a video on my YouTube channel if you want me to.
There you go. How much money? How much does it cost?
Nah, I'll do it for free.
Oh,
what
Dad.
a guy.
Make sure you check out my boy Minnesota Burns.
Are you streaming every day?
I streamed for 4 hours this morning, and then streaming this afternoon.
Are you partnered? Like, are you?
I'm partnered on there, but I haven't been able to get an email to get my subscription button back because it was on like an old system.
They should respond.
Are you doing the do? Is this like? Are you a Fortnite streamer now?
He'll give it a week and a half. Yeah, I bet you only do though.
Where did it come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton
We need to figure out I need to figure out how to because why the fuck would anybody would want to watch us game? Like, you got to do
There's
something.
got to be a different angle other than skill level. Because
Yeah.
There's Fortnite players out there that just, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. What would be that angle though? I think if you just did weird like today, I was like, it was just me and Burns died, so it was just me, and I was like, should I just fucking turn it to sensitivity at 10? Like, you know, yeah, like doing stuff like that, or just like, yeah.
The thing is we will never be good enough as even like the worst good players. You know what I'm saying? Like Burns is really good, and what would you say, Burns? You're like still not even close to where you would be like considered competitively good.
The top PC players are. It's not even funny, dude. Did you guys see the new All or Nothing tournament?
Yeah, I watched some of that last night.
Nerd Out put on. You guys seen that?
How does Nerd Out get all that money? What do they do?
I don't know. So it's basically like Keemstar's tournament, but you can sabotage. You can literally.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Anything goes. So you could bounce pad them off the cliff.
The guys who win every time won.
Yeah, Tfue and Cloaksy.
Those guys have won over $100,000 off Fortnite already. That's insane. They're the best two players in the game.
And those aren't even legit Fortnite tournaments. Like the Epic Games hasn't even started the real stuff.
How much was the prize pool for that one?
20 grand.
20.
Wow.
But I looked at
there was $100 grand Realm Royale tournament this weekend in Vegas or something. Did you guys see that?
No, that's crazy.
That game was dog shit.
Hey, they're getting $100 grand though.
So is Realm Royale backed by some big dogs? Is that why?
Unreal. It's Unreal. Yeah, High Res and Unreal or whatever High Res and something else.
It's a massive studio. Yeah. It's not a little fly by the night type deal.
Yeah, see, because they must have paid some big ass money
probably
to get people playing that shit.
Well, and they just dropped $100 grand on Attorney. I'll never play it until it comes to my Xbox, and even then I won't play it. You know, ride or die, Fortnite to the death of me.
Cool.
I ain't even gonna play that
I'm
new.
sending a message real quick. Sorry.
I ain't even gonna play that new Call of Duty. You know, I ain't about that life.
What if you're not gonna play the Blackout mode, the Battle Royale? Give it a try.
Well, if you play with us on Xbox.
I heard it's only 60 players. That's
I've heard 60, and I've also just heard from an inside source that they're trying to get it to 200.
Whoa.
200 would be something.
Can their servers handle it though? That's the question.
No idea.
Here's the question.
Shouldn't they be able to handle it more than
I think
Epic?
they raise some eyebrows though if they launch with a 200-player map. That's insane.
Here's the question. Is how come no one has created the capture the flag mode in Fortnite yet? Hear me out on this, right? So you got you got 5 minutes each on opposite sides of the maps, capture the flag style. But when you capture the flag, there's also a guided missile. So you guided missile, but it only does damage to bases. You can't kill anyone with the guided missile. Genius, dude. Sign me up to Fortnite, dude.
What?
Capture the flag.
Well,
you never heard capture the flag?
No, I have. But the thing is, capture the flag. It would be tough though, because if it's one life, you know, it's.
No, you get respawns back to the base.
Capture the flag was respawn. It was like or so many seconds and.
No, I'm talking about in Fortnite.
Yeah, you would get.
You're gonna see
it's like playground mode. Like playground mode, you get to come back alive.
You're gonna see an LTM soon. That's a respawn, and you're gonna see the playing in the dark, the Moonlight LTM.
How do you know? Who's your source, fucker?
Jimmy knows everyone, man. Jimmy knows everyone.
Jimmy, what are they doing in 3 days with the new season? What is it? Do you know?
Wild West, right?
It's history themed. It's going to be Wild West. It's going to be Egyptian. It's going to be.
So they're going to change like certain areas to that theme?
I think so. I think they're going to like change the map around. You'll have skins anywhere, ranging anywhere. I've seen leaks of the Flying Dutchman, Davy Jones, a pirate skin, Anubis, the god or the Egyptian god of death, like a gold Anubis skin. I mean, obviously they could do Wild West skins, but I mean, if you look at what has happened so far. The other day, one of those rifts dropped a ship anchor. It looks like a Viking ship anchor or a pirate ship anchor. Yesterday, one of the rifts dropped a Western stagecoach or like a horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which also correlated with the Durburger out in California in the desert. There's like horse or wagon wheel tracks and stuff out there.
Then they did the llamas and
llamas are everywhere now across the world. Dude,
they know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing. Who the hell hides llamas in real life?
Yeah, it's just cool. It's just cool to watch.
We hid 10 llamas in real life. Go find them.
Like they somehow able, like the game doesn't change. Like it's still 100 people.
That's the beauty of this.
And they still get me to play it over and over. Yeah,
they'll go throw some sand in Anarchy Acres, make you think you're put a pyramid in Dusty Divot, and you're like, yes, it's a new map.
All right.
They should freeze over the lake.
They have found a way to not do a new map, but just change the map.
Yeah,
but not even really change it.
Eventually, they're gonna have to do a new map.
It's going to be right when Call of Duty comes out, that's for sure.
Exactly
100%. That is what I put it on my life. That is what they're going to do.
So, like, let's say, what is it? Is it Thursday that?
Yeah, July 12th.
And Call of Duty comes out October 12th. They're dropping a new season and a new map.
Yeah, they will.
Because that'll be 45 days away.
Yeah, it's 3 months or whatever, 2.5. It's exactly the right time.
Dude, they are.
I don't think they're as worried about Call of Duty's Battlefield or Battle. I think they need to focus more on taking out Battlefield's Battle Royale because Battlefield, that's going to be. It's not going to be like Fortnite. It's going to be military, but it's going to be polished. I mean, Battlefield.
Are you at all worried that like people are going to get VR fatigue with all these new?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
But how long, Burns, did it take them to get TDM and domination fatigue? 10 years.
Yeah, but. That's
true.
The
the thing is, when you can get 100 players in a game, like there's gonna be other concepts that come out spawn from.
Well,
you can do so much better things with more people in the game.
The playground mode. They've literally just introduced sandbox Minecraft to Fortnite. That's coming. You know that's coming back permanently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that opens up. I mean, there's people making custom arena death matches.
Dude, that's what. Remember, Halo did that with like the Forge.
Yeah, yeah. But there's gonna come a point where you're gonna be able to save your maps. You're gonna be able to share them with other people, and that just opens up the custom
GTA style.
Yeah, dude,
it's brilliant.
I think Fortnite's got a 5-year solid life cycle at least.
Yeah.
Well, I also think that they tailor the game pretty good to not eliminate new players to where like anyone can just jump in and like go get a kill and be like, well, that was fun. Which I know that like big time players don't like that. They feel like they're, that's
if they nerf the building like they talked about they're going to do, that caters to noobs even more.
That's how one of their games died though. So
yeah, they got to be careful.
Tread lightly.
Cool. Good talk, guys. I'm just toughing out a hot shit right now. I thought it was a fart, and
all right, I got to go make a video.
I could tell it was going to be a squirt. So
and it was nice. It was nice to see.
The show is titled "Insurance is Bullshit."
All right,
I am sitting at about 76% of showing up for show rate. That's not horrible.
That's not terrible. All right, I got to shit. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.